Hey everybody, it's James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and in today's lesson I'm going to show you how to play Get Up Stand Up by Bob Marley. Now, this is a really fun song to jam with a friend because it's just a one chord song. You know, one of you could play rhythm just playing one chord. You could show your friend this, and then the other one can play some of those bass lines, which are also doubled on electric guitar on the recording as well, you know. And it's a lot of fun, you know, it's a really fun song to play. And I'll also maybe show you how to throw a couple of those chord shots in so that you could even, while playing the lead lines, you could do some of the chord stuff too. And the chord shape that we use for this one, it is a bar chord. So while this is a one chord song, the one chord is a bar chord, which might be difficult for you. So I'm going to show you how to simplify it. And if you don't want to simplify it, if you are down to play bar chords, but you need a little bit of help getting there, I do have a course designed to do that. It's called Bar Chords Made Easy, and it starts off super simple, and it's meant to bridge the gap between playing regular chords and playing bar chords, because some people think you're just supposed to go directly from one to the other, but there's a whole bunch of cool stuff that we can do between there, a whole bunch of useful stuff, and you know, it starts out so simple and then just builds up step by step. So if you need extra help and you're interested in that, I recommend checking out the free trial. I'll put a link to that down below. Anyways, here's our chord shape, and that's a C minor chord. And some people say this song is in B minor. The truth is it's actually between those two keys, so you just gotta pick one. If you wanna play with the original recording, you have to tune your guitar like halfway between E and E flat. It's kind of strange, but I'm gonna go with C minor. I like that one. We could play it here using the A minor shape. What I mean by that is take your A minor, but instead of playing it the normal way, play it with these three fingers. So our middle finger is on the first fret of the B string, pinky on the second fret of G, ring finger on the second fret of D. Got an A minor shape. Then we just drag the shape up 1, 2, 3 times, and then we put our first finger along the strings. And we could also play this chord shape up here. This is also C minor. Listen. It's the same thing. And for that, we're just taking the E minor using these two fingers, and we just drag it way up until our first finger can line up with the 8th fret. Now, when they're picking these chords, even though the guitarist is going to be pressing down all the strings, he's actually just aiming for a couple. So what we can do is we can just press down the ones we need. So this is what I meant when I say we can simplify this. We can either do it over here, 3, 4, 5, just like that, just like a diagonal, just 3 on the highest string, then 4, then 5. But the way that I like to do it, I don't know, it just feels a bit better. I like to do it up here at the 8th fret on these two strings, on the B string and the G string. I have my first finger, and then I put my ring finger on the 10th fret. Since you get to stay on the same chord shape, I want you to just take the time and set your fingers up correctly. My first finger is arched. See, it's like bent that way. It's not pointy. Like when we're playing all the regular chords, we want it to be pointy, but here it's going that way. I'm flattening it so I can get those two strings at once, and it's muting the highest string. And then I just put my pinky on the 10th fret. And this way I can strum all the strings. And I'm just getting the ones I want. And you can make the chords really short, you know, just by letting off the pressure. So you can do it here, or here. And once you're comfortable with that shape, we can add some rhythm to it. It's really simple. It goes like this. I'll slow it down and count it out now. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and So we're just playing on 2 and, that's a down up, and then 4 and. And I want you to take a minute right now, count it out loud like I'm doing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Try it a whole bunch of times in a row. And once you get that, we can talk about some of the little details. The first one is the pressure that you're putting on the strings, you know, whether I'm playing it up here or down here. I only apply pressure as I'm strumming. So, and then I let the pressure go right away. So I just squeeze it, you know, just like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You know, I'm squeezing at the same time that I'm strumming. 1 and squeeze, squeeze. 3 and squeeze, squeeze. Just try that. 1 and squeeze, squeeze. 2, 3 and squeeze, squeeze. And if you line that up with the strumming, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You know, and you get that nice loose feel like that. And that's like the next level reggae rhythm. The first one is just 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, this one's a bit more happening, a bit busier, a bit more stuff happening. So just take a minute with that. You know, this isn't that hard. It's just a 1-chord song. Take your time with it. Get it sounding right. Since it's so simple, I want you to take the time to make it perfect. And when you're ready, we can try that together just for a little bit. Just going to some chunk, chunk. Here we go. Let's do it nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And something you can do if you're playing this on your own is what I just did. I played the root on beat 1. So it's like root, then doing my pattern. And that requires you to be able to play full bar chords, but it adds that bass element to it, which will help if you're just performing this song. You know, if you just want to go play this song by yourself and you don't care about the lead parts, you just want to have the rhythm down. Get up, stand up for your right. You know, it just adds a little bit more to it. Anyways, once you've practiced that a bit, we can move on and learn the lead part. There's actually 3 of them. There's the intro, the part that you do on the chorus, and then there's the part that you do on the verse. So let's just go through them like that. The intro goes like this. So that's really simple. That's just the first fret of the A string. I'm just going down, up, down, up. Then I go 1, 3, and then down, up, down, up. And it might help if you count it out going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's the first bit. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then it's 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and then back to 1 and 2 and 3 and that's it. That's the whole thing. So let's just try it slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the song starts from there. The next part is the lead line on the chorus. It goes like this. And that's a bit more complicated than the intro, but if we break it down, it is pretty simple. We start off on the 3rd fret of the A string, and we just play it once and count out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Next, we go, and for that, I'm just playing the 5th fret on the D string with my ring finger, and then the 6th fret with my pinky of the A string. So, and timing wise, what we have so far, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2. Moving on, next we go on the A string, 5, 6, 5. And And that happens on and 3 and. So far, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now the second half. So we start off on the 3rd fret again, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 1. So we play the 5th fret of the A string, and then we roll our finger to play the 5th fret of the D string. And when you're rolling your finger, make that note short, just by letting off the pressure. And from there, we go down to the 3rd fret of the low string, and then the 6th fret of the low string. And it starts all over again. So the second half, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All together with counting, this is what we get. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you can see how it all lines up. I want you to just take your time and count it out. You don't have to be able to keep up with me yet. What I want you to do is take your time getting it perfect, lining up the counting with each stroke. Go as far as you can, doing it bit by bit like we just did. Once you have it together, we can play it let's do it at a medium speed together, and we're gonna add some palm muting. So for that, I'm just gonna lightly cover the strings so that they make a nice palm muted sound. If you cover them up too much, it kills the string, right? So just a little bit. I overlap it maybe like less than a centimeter. It gives us that cool sound, nice and compressed. Let's just try it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. And if we want to make that a little cooler, we can add right after that first 3, there's a lot of space, right? So there we can add a couple strums. We can go. We can add that there. So 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3. And then you do the rest of it like you normally would. And then in the second half of it, same thing. So I went 1, 2, and 3, 4. I'm just sneaking it in there in that little space. It's not too difficult if you just look at it and take your time with it. And now we'll take a look at the last bit, the verse. It goes like this. And for that one, the counting is a little tougher because it uses quarter note triplets, and that's basically a 3/2 feel. So I'm gonna count 1, 2 out loud, and in the same time that I'm counting 2 beats, I'm gonna clap 3 beats. So we have 3 beats lining up with 2 beats, and it creates it's a great rhythm, and it's something that, as you pursue music, you're gonna come across this like a million times, but it's a little tough to get at first. I'll demonstrate. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you see my hands are clapping 3 times in the same time that I say 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that might be kind of tough to get, but if you just kind of feel it out over time, you'll sharpen up, and I will make some videos in a course eventually that teach you how to nail this stuff, using tricks like triplet, and pulling out bits of 8th note triplets. There's a whole system for it. But regardless, let's just kind of do it by feel here, because that's a really long lesson. It took myself, a long time to really nail those quarter note triplets. There's a lot of understanding, a lot of trial and error, a lot of stuff that goes into it. We're gonna start off, same place on the 3rd fret of the A string, and then we're gonna go 6, and then on the next string, 3, 5. And then we end on 6 on the A string. So it's pretty easy. 3, 6, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that a bunch of times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next half goes like this. So there's another quarter note triplet in there. The first bit is almost the same, except we're starting on the 6th fret of the low string. And then we roll our pinky to the 6th fret of the A string, and we go. Just try it a bunch of times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we finish it off just by going. So that's the 6th fret on the lowest string, and then the 3rd fret on the A string. So the second half, 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you put it all together, nice and slow, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's all there is to it. You know, I know this is a 1-chord song. This could have been a 1-minute video. Just here's the 1 chord, here's a strumming pattern. But I thought I'd show you some extra stuff. And as far as putting it all together, first thing I recommend you do is listen to the recording a couple times, because you'll realize, oh, they play the intro once at the very beginning, and then they just do the chorus melody thing. You know, they do it like 4 times or 8 times or whatever, and then they go to the other one and just back and forth between those two things, while the whole time there's a chord happening. You know, it all lines up and interlocks to make a really cool groove, and that's why I recommend you find a friend to play this with. You know, just teach your friend that chord, teach them the strumming pattern, and then you try to play that. Or you could even just get your phone and just record yourself doing the strumming. You know, record yourself doing the strumming for a couple minutes, and then press play, listen back, and then you try to do this over it. And, you know, do those parts over it. So there's a lot of fun that you can have. Whenever you have a song that has a lot of simple components, you can have a lot of fun putting it all together. Anyways, if you need any extra help with this one, don't forget to check out my resources. I have a free ebook covering lead guitar. I have the barre chord course. I have a beginner course if you're a beginner and you just want to get started and on the right foot. You know, a whole bunch of ways to help you out. So check those out. Have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.